Hey Shepherd, welcome to Digital Worship this week. I'm Pastor John Carolus, one of our associate pastors, and this is a pretty important week for us here at Shepherd. It's basically the kickoff of our fall ministry run. I know technically we begin in September with a whole new schedule of events and different things, but this week's important because on Monday, our preschoolers come back into the classroom, and this weekend on Sunday, we're commissioning our teachers and blessing all of the teachers and students in worship with us as we embark on a new year together. Because of that, we're going to spend a little bit of a pause together and focus on our theme verse for the year, for our preschool year, our ministry year here at Shepherd Together, as opposed to continuing in our Planted series, which we'll return to next week for the duration of the month of August. But in the meantime, we're going to introduce this theme verse to you coming from Psalm 98, and we're also just going to pray that God would bless the academic year ahead for all of us, whether you're someone who is a student yourself, or maybe you're someone who is supporting the educational life of some students in your life, whether it be children or grandchildren or neighbors. We all are a part of forming the people that come, the young people that are coming after us, the generations that will take over after us. We all are a part of that formation, a part of that creation in them, a heart that is seeking after God's kingdom, a heart that is obedient to His commands and is transformed by His great Spirit. And that brings us to the theme verse for the year, which comes from Psalm 98. And it's a short phrase. It's "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord." So we're going to spend some time reading through that entire psalm, but before we get there, I want to introduce the idea to you that it's maybe a theory I've come up with, or maybe one that isn't original to my own composition, but it's the idea that we are created to be noisemakers. God made us with voices. He made us with hands. He made us with capabilities to play instruments, to create symphonies, to sing in choirs, to speak out of our mouth, to even be able to create things that make noise for us, whether it be instruments or whether it be speeches for others or scripts for different things. We are people that make noise. And this is, I think, integral to our design as people made in God's image. He has created us for that very task. And whether we make the noise ourselves with our own body or we employ other devices or other people to make those noises for us, we can't argue against the fact that as people created and designed by God, we are made to make noise. And that noise we make can have a powerful effect in the world around us. If you're someone with high administrative responsibility at work, well, then your words carry great authority. If you're someone who has a child in the home or a grandchild who comes to visit or you talk with on the phone, your voice can bring great comfort. Your voice can bring great joy. If you're someone who, if you're a little child, your voice can bring great joy as well when people hear you singing songs, or when people hear the great revelation sometimes that children have that maybe we haven't thought about or seen things that same way. Noisemaking is a part of who we are. Sadly, in this life, because of our own corruption, because of our sin, because of our brokenness, the noise that we make sometimes carries a negative or a harmful effect. Sometimes we come across as someone who just focuses on those more negative parts of life, someone who brings complaints rather quickly, someone who maybe puts the worst construction on things, maybe brings a less positive perspective into the conversation. And this is something that each of us are guilty of at different times. Maybe it's while you're in the car, the noise you make at other drivers is not the most positive or the most uplifting. Maybe it's when someone disappoints you or you get a bit of bad news. Sometimes the noise we make has a way of creating a harmful effect in the world around us. But God calls us to a different kind of noise. He calls us to a grander, a more beautiful, a bigger than us kind of noise to make in the world. And that's what Psalm 98 is all about. So let's read that psalm together. We're going to be reading from a different translation than usual this week, but the language in this translation captures this vision so well. So we'll be reading from the English Standard Version, looking at Psalm 98. "O sing to the Lord a new song, for He has done marvelous things. His right hand and His holy arm have worked salvation for Him. The Lord has made known His salvation. He has revealed His righteousness in the sight of the nations. He has remembered His steadfast love and faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise to the Lord. All the earth, break forth into joyous song and sing praises. Sing praises to the Lord with the lyre and with the sound of melody, with trumpets and the sound of the horn. Make a joyful noise before the King, the Lord. Let the sea roar and all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the hills sing for joy together before the Lord. For He comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness and the peoples with equity." So Psalm 98 is kind of a special psalm. It's unique in that it fits into a category of psalms that is kind of an inaugural or a coronating kind of psalm. It's about celebrating the arrival of a fair and righteous and good ruler. And specifically, it's about the arrival of the Lord coming to bring His authority and His rulership to His people. The people of Israel, the people that those who trust in Jesus' promises have been grafted into and adopted into this family of God. And so we can join our voices with this historical psalm in celebrating the fact that God has come to His people. But when we look at the psalm, we notice that it kind of starts out small, but breaks into this universal, this global, this whole picture of creation singing together. Not only is this a song that the choir of Israel would be singing, not only is this a song that those who believe in God's promises, whatever nation they may come from, would be singing, but this is a song that's ongoing in creation. The rivers clap their hands, their waves make noise, the seas and all that fill them, the creation and the animals that are present in the world, all of these things, the hills and the animals and the plants and the creation that dwells on the hills. So you have the land and the sea singing together this great refrain of creation. Sing to the Lord a new song. Break forth in joyous noise. Make a noise that is full of praise and adoration for our God. This is the noise that God created us to make. This is the song that He created us to sing, and this is the gift He gives to us. That we might, whether we employ the lyre or, what would essentially be a thousand year BC era guitar, or we use our own hands that have been a part of our creation for thousands of years, right? Since God created Adam and Eve. He has given us instruments. He's given us voices. He's given us each other. He hears praise from the hills and from the animals and from the seas and from the rivers, from the stars and from the planets. God is forever and eternally. He is praised, He is adored, He is worshiped by all that He has made, and you and I are invited to participate in that kind of noise. And what does it look like? Is God waiting in expectation with a judgmental look on His face to see what kind of noise we will make? No, the Scriptures open up to us the truth that God has won us back to Him, that we might have the freedom to participate in this great joyful refrain. This isn't something that we're held accountable for, that we are going to be punished for not doing, because as we started out remembering, we are born into this state where we are unable to praise the Lord on our own, but He has called us by His Holy Spirit and worked in our hearts that we might be a part of this great universal refrain, this universal choir that contains all of creation within it. We've been won over so that we might participate in this great joyful noise, so that we can hear the words of Psalm 98 and say we can make a joyful noise as well. What does it look like? What does it sound like? Well, for each of us, I think it's a little bit different. It may be singing in church on Sunday. It may be creating and playing worship music in the car as you make your way to work that hopefully, can be a reminder in those times of a little higher emotional sensitivity. It may be just how you carry out conversation. I think of somebody who is very near and dear to my heart, who was in my church when I grew up in Antigo, Wisconsin. She is someone who always spoke a word of kindness and a word of joy. She made a joyful noise through how she helped encourage people and listened to them and celebrated the things that happened in their lives. You and I can participate in this song of creation in that way as well. As you go into the week ahead, think of those ways where God has given you an opportunity to participate in that song of creation, to make a joyful noise and be a part of what we hope to do here at Shepherd this year as a preschool staff, as a church and ministry staff, as a family that gathers together on Sundays. We're going to be embarking on a year where we have record enrollment at our preschool, 170 kids participating in our programming throughout the week, and each of them being invited to participate in this same joyful noise that you now are being invited to participate in as well. Where can you make a joyful noise this week? Who can you share it with? And how is God calling you into that universal refrain, that universal choir? May God bless you and keep you this week as you make your way into the days ahead. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I worship Your holy name. comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before, let me be singing when the evening comes. Sing this out. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. Rich in love, you're rich in love, and you're slow to anger. Your name is great, and your heart is kind. For all your goodness, I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. So bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. Oh. And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come, still my soul will sing your praise unending.